There we go. Now, with the multiplicative law, the key word is and. Whenever you see the word and, now I'm not talking about in the whole paragraph, I'm talking about usually in the last sentence. The probability of A and B. It'll say find the probability of A and B, or the probability of a blue marble and a red marble. Now, what is important here? Because in the additive law, we told you that you had to distinguish whether something was what? Overlapping or not. Okay? And what do you always do with overlap? You always subtract the overlap. Well, the multiplicative law, you've got to make sure that you either have with replacement or without replacement. Why? Well, let me just explain it to you with a bag of marbles. Okay? Because it's a whole lot easier after I explain it to you, then you understand what the difference is between them. Okay? So, we got a bag of marbles. And in this bag of marbles, we got 4 blue marbles. We got 3 or 8 red marbles. We got 6 green marbles. And we got 7. I don't do that. Y'all start whining. I can't see. Go with orange marbles. 7 orange marbles. I'm looking to see if that's 18, 7 is what, 25 marbles, is that right? Somebody add them up right quick. 25 marbles. Did y'all check it? Because I didn't hear anybody say yes. Y'all just all sat there like bumps on the log. Okay. 4 and 8 is 12. And 16, that's a 6, that's 18, and 7 is 25. Thank you, Hubert. You're welcome. All right. So, if I take out a marble, if I reach in and take out a marble, then either I'm going to put that marble in my pocket or I'm going to put it back in the bag. Which one affects the probability of the next draw?
Without replace.
Thank you, sir. You enunciated. Volume. Thank you. The rest of the class going. So, without replacement affects the outcome. All right? You need to remember that because some of your questions are going to say with replacement or without replacement, and it makes a difference. Now, if I ask you that you're going to have 3 picks, in other words, you're going to reach into the bag 3 times, and I want to find the probability that all 3 picks will be a red marble. Okay? Probability of a red marble and a red marble and a red marble. The first 3 picks. Well, you're going to do without replacement. So I'm not going to put the marble that I picked back into the bag. All right? Now, the probability of picking a red marble is 8 out of what? 8 out of 25. That's the first pick. Now, with the second pick, is it going to be 8 over 25? 7 out of 24. Good. And 6 out of what? And you're going to multiply those 3. Is that what y'all are talking about back there? Or are y'all just talking about something else?
No, we're talking about that.
Mm-hmm. Just want to make sure
Or,
you're not being rude or anything.
no.
Okay. All right, so multiply those three together and give me to the third decimal place. What'd you get? Is
I got .024.
that what everybody else got?
Yes.
0.024. So what is the probability of picking 3 red marbles, one right behind the other? Very high or very low?
Very low.
Very low. So therefore, if you were betting on picking 3 marbles, if there was such a game, then if you actually picked 3 marbles, you would get paid a lot because the odds against would be very high because the probability is very what?
Low.
Okay? Now, what if you had with replacement? That means that you took a marble out and put it back in. Well, that's the easy one because all you have to do is raise it to the third power. So if it was with replacement, then that would be 8 over 25 raised to the third power. Now take your handy dandy calculator, for some of you that's on the calculator drill team, raise it to the third power, and give me 3 decimal places. Parentheses, 8 over 25, close parentheses, caret symbol, 3. What do you get? .032. Is there a difference between the two? Yes. Will there ever be no difference? Yes. After 3 digits. What is that supposed to mean, Hubert? Well, after you get to a third, like 3 digits, like I'd say probably 300 or more, after 300, you'll start to see no difference. And I'll give you an example. And this is a test question. I don't know, marble may be a test question. I don't know, but this is a test question. The CDs. And you probably ain't going to see this in the book because it's not in your book. I don't know if it is or not, but the last book, it was in the last book. And let me see if I can do this and make it big enough to where all the blind people can see. Okay. You are working in QA for a compact disc manufacturer. I don't know how to spell that, but anyway, let me fix this where it'll. Sorry, I have to fix it to where it'll. You can check a batch of CDs by picking 5 CDs and if all are not effective, the shipment can be delivered. 55 CDs without replacement. All are not defective. That means all are what? Good. Current shipment is 1,374 CDs. With a percentage of 256 being bad. Using the multiplicative law, determine if the shipment can be sent. What's Q&A? Or QA? What's QA in a industrial type setting? Good. Quality what? Okay, this is SAT word. This is a word y'all need to know. Quality assurance. Write it down. Quality assurance. Some of you are going to be, no matter what field you're in, you may run into it. Especially if you're producing something. That's the office that determines whether a shipment goes out or not. Because if you're selling CDs, if you're making CDs, I'm not talking about a singer. I'm talking about people that actually make the CDs, okay, that you read and write on, okay? If you're making Cryovac, no, Cryovac makes the cellophane that goes around it. Anyway, you know, the aggravating cellophane that you can't get off a CD or DVD. Well, these people right here, they're making the DVDs and the CDs that you actually write on or save information on. All right, so they're selling them to Walmart or Target or whatever. Well, when you're a factory selling to a retailer, there's two ways that the bad stuff can go. Either the bad stuff can get caught at the manufacturer and you go back and find out what's wrong, or if the bad stuff is at a minimum, you leave it up to Walmart or Target to handle the returns, right? You understand? Everybody get that? What are you talking about? You're talking about a handful. Okay? Now, what does that 256 mean? That means on an average, a certain percent. The Quality Assurance Office comes up with a certain percent that says 256 are being bad, which is a percentage of all the crates that come out. This crate has 1,374. There may be another crate that has 2,000, and they would take a percentage of 2,000, and it would be that 256 or whatever that number is. Okay? That's used in the calculation. All right? So, what do? Well, first of all, I draw a little box. And that's my crate. And when I draw a little box, I put, really, thought I hit the box. Did I not hit the box? There's my crate. And in that crate, there are 1,374 CDs. Now what I do down here in the corner, put a little corner box here and I put a corner box here. And I put 256 could be bad. Well, what's the complement of 256 to 1374? You might subtract it right quick. 1374 minus 256. Y'all settle down, please. 1374 minus 256. What? What is it?
1,118.
Thank you, ma'am. 1,118 or what? Are good. The opposite of bad. Good. So, you got to pick 5 CDs. You're the quality assurance guy or lady. Then you got to pick 5 CDs. And every one of them has to be what? Good. Just like the marbles. Every one of them has to be red. So, do the calculation. Or just meditate. Go back to the red marble. Look at the red marble. And see what you did there. When do we have another break? Heck, I got used to that break. I got an exam to take down in Columbia, and I studied all week. Watching videos. Stuff that you never do. Surprised when you get licensed to do something. The test has nothing to do with what you actually do. Brain surgery. Surveying license. I've taken 2 out of the 3. To be a surveyor in South Carolina, you have to take 3 exams. To be a lawyer or a doctor, you just have to take 1. Figure that out. Real estate. Anybody ever in real estate? How many exams you have to take? Anybody know? But surveyor, you got to take 3. I guess land is better, more important than being alive. It's all Bush's fault. And you got to take a year between taking the exams. You can't take them back to back. You got to wait a year before you can take each exam. Sounds like to me they're trying to keep people from being a surveyor. All right, so what's the first one? 118 over 1374, Hubert. Yep, that's right, class. 118 over 1374. What's the next one? 1117 over 1373, just like the marbles. Yep. Because it says without replacement. I'm not doing all that. 117, 116, 115, 114 over 72, 71, 70. Somebody calculate that out and give me to 4 decimal places. Calculator drill team. Miss Hyatt, what's your uncle doing now?
My Uncle Rick?
Yeah.
That's on the big line. That's on the sign.
You are kidding me.
Yeah.
I ain't seen him in years.
I don't really know him.
You hardly ever see him, don't you?
Yeah, I've never seen him.
Yeah. I ain't seen him since the last time I saw him, he was reserving for the county sheriff's department. That was a long time ago. Don't ask me why I just thought about that, but anyway. Go ahead and, what'd you get?
I don't know if I got it right, but I got 356.
Point what?
356.
What's the fourth digit?
0.
0? Is that what y'all got? 3560? 3560. Now, do it with replacement. That would be 118 over 1374 raised to the what? And somebody tell me what you got. What'd you get?
356.
3560?
3567.
3567. Somebody check that first one and make sure you get 3. Is it 3560 here?
That's what I got.
Okay. Do you see much difference? Do you see as much difference as you did with the marbles? Marbles, we had quite a bit of difference. Why is there a difference? Why is this similar? Because the higher the numbers, the closer the probabilities are with or without replacement. So once you get up into the 3 and 4 digit, 5 digit numbers, do you need to actually do without replacement? No. Did you get that? So you don't have to do all that long drawn out math with your calculator. You just have to raise it to the 5th power or the 6th power or whatever the case may be. Okay, so let's do another. Because this is a test question, so you're going to see it. You might see 3 or 4 of them. So let's take our handy dandy. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to erase my question. Since this is the biggest eraser they got, it'll take me 15 minutes to erase everything. And go ahead and do it both ways, so that way you can see it. So let's change this. And we'll change this to 7. And change this to 1500. And 2. And change this to 175. All right? Y'all seen those dang old Safe Light commercials? Dang old, they come to repair my dang old windshield today. I was taking the dashboard out, and the ratchet, and I hit the windshield with my ratchet. Cracked it. Safe Light repairs. So what's 1,502 minus 175? 1325? So it'll be 1325 over 1502. Dot, dot, dot.
1327.
I didn't do it.
Really? Y'all are gonna mess that up? I can't rely on y'all for anything. 1327. Maybe that's what you said, and I didn't hear you. And that's going to be times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way down to what? 1320 over what? 15, what? 14, sorry. 14 what? 1495? 90 what?
96.
Okay, was that top one right? 1320? Or it's supposed to be 1321? You have to watch it. You just can't subtract. You gotta mess you up if you do that. Now, I'm not going to do that, but what do you get when you do that? Does somebody give me 4 digits? Y'all still doing it, or you didn't do it? One of the two. Okay. Y'all do know y'all can type all this in one operation, right? I hope y'all know that. Huh? With parentheses? Y'all know that, right?
I got 0.0056.
Is that what everybody got? 0.0056. All right, now take 1327 over 1502 and raise it to the what? 7th power. And what do you get? It shouldn't take that long to calculate it. Yes, it does. Anybody got it yet?
4202.
Then something's wrong. Y'all done something wrong.
For the first one, I got 0.4198.
Okay. So let's go back to it and see. Hold on. All right, what'd you get for the first one?
0.4198.
And what'd you get for the second one?
0.4200.
So if you round to the second digit, 0.42, you'll get the same thing, 0.42. Okay? So, when you're talking about the multiplicative law, you're going to see the probability of A and B. And most of the time, they're not going to put it like that. They're going to say, what is the probability of getting all red marbles in 3 picks? Or all red and blue marbles in 5 picks? That's the way they're going to say it. Or they're going to say, what is the probability of getting O and RH positive? Okay? So, be careful. Like I said, probability is not mathematical. Probability is reading like reading a sentence, and figuring out what they want. The math is real simple. So you've got to be able to read it and figure out what they want. You got to be able to look for the word and in that last sentence. Or if it says pick 5 red marbles, or pick 5 CDs, or pick 5 aspirins that have not been broken. 5 tablets that have not been broken. Something like that. Okay? And you've got to remember 2 things. Excuse me. With or without replacement. Now somebody look in your book. Which section is this? I'm sorry, what?
5.4.
Look in your book, the first couple of pages of 5.4, and they're going to say something about dependent and independent. I always forget which one's which. Kind of like I always forget which one's the least common multiple and the greatest common divisor when I'm teaching basic math. I always forget those 2. So, which one is independent? It says independent. I think independent affects the statistics or affects the probability. Does it say? Or does your book use the word independent and dependent? It doesn't? Or does it use with and without replacement? It'll use one of the 2. Should be the first couple of pages of 5.4 and probably in a box.
What is the definition of independent? Is 2 events, E and F, are independent if the probability of E
Not affected or affected?
are
On 5.3, it says multiplication rules for independent events, the E and F are independent events, if E probability of E and F equals PE minus 2F.
It should say affected or not affected. That's a bunch of bull crap. But anyway, one of them's independent, one of them's dependent. I don't care about that because I don't say independent in the question. Let me just go look right quick. What?
It says use multiplication rule for independent events.
Let me go pull it up right quick. What page you on?
259. It says the 2 events E and F independent if the occurrence of the event E and the probability experiment does not affect the probability of the event.
Is that the independent or dependent?
Independent.
Independent. Does not affect. So that's with replacement. With replacement is independent. Write that down because you may see it in one of your questions. It may say independent. Dependent means without replacement. 5.4. What page is that on? 59? I'm sorry, what?
59.
this rule is on point. It's 5.3, not 5.4.
Okay, 259. All that. Okay, 2 are independent, does not affect. So if you're on page 259, you need to do independent, and you need to hit does not affect, and then you need to put above independent, put with replacement. Dependent, hit the word affects, and put right beside dependent, put without replacement. So you could easily apply this to a deck of cards. What is the probability of picking an ace and a king? Okay? An ace and a king. Or an ace and an ace. Okay. Y'all don't get too excited. Well, high school is ruined, y'all. Y'all don't even, do y'all do this in all y'all's classes? Y'all don't talk at all? Oh, well.
My last math teacher.
What?
My last math teacher here was very stern and unemotional.
Who was it?
Sterile class.
Who was it?
I can't remember her name.
Who was it? Well, that tells you something right there.
I was prepared, I got your email.
What class was it? What's the numbers? Huh? Was it Miss Harbin?
I felt like I was back in high school.
Yeah.
She was a high school teacher.
Yeah, for like 115 years. She was at West Side, that's how I know. God, that section wasn't very long, was it?
The next section.
Next section, conditional, we're not doing that one. So you don't have to do 5.4. Probably going to go to 5.5, which will be at least, let me see. If I can ever get there.
275.
Thank you.
174, sorry.
Counting techniques. This is what you pretty much 50% of your test is going to be 5.5. The other 50% is going to be whatever sections we've went over, 5.1, 5.2, and 5.3. Okay, that's the other 50%. Counting techniques. Well, everybody knows how to count. That's not what counting we're talking about. We're talking about using factorial. Factorial is some of you may know it because you had this like before, so. Factorial looks like this. And for those of you that's had this class before, what does factorial mean? What is the definition of factorial? No, you're wrong. God, such a disappointment. You need to leave. You failed. What does factorial mean? Factorial means the product of numbers in their sequence, excluding 0. Why would we exclude 0?
I don't know.
Well, it is considered a number, but what kind of property does 0 have in the multiplicative sense?
0.
0 times anything is 0. So what would be the point of using factorial if every time you used it, you multiplied by 0? There would be no reason to have it. So we have to exclude 0 because 0 nullifies the whole thing. So what is 3 factorial?
3.
Multiplying in sequence. 3 times 2 times 1 is?
3. No, 6.
You need a calculator.
6.
6, yeah. No, like football. All right, 3 times 2 times 1 is 6. What is 4 factorial? 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 24 times 1 is?
24.
Good job. So, at least we know we're awake. So let's go with 3 factorial. 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1, which is equal to 6. 4 factorial, and by the time I get to 5 or 6 factorial, y'all will start to see the pattern. 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is equal to 24. 5 factorial is equal to 5 times 3 times 2, 5 times 4, times 3. Let's just start over. 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is equal to 120. What's 6 factorial? 720. What's 7 factorial? 51 something. How'd you know that? Well, look at the pattern. You could say 3 times 2 times 1, 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, 5 times 4 times 3 times 2. Or you could take these 3, and since that is 6, 6 times 4 is what? 24. And then 24 times 5 is 120. So the next one would be 6 times 120, which is 720. And so on. Now, when do you use these guys? You use them with combinations and permutations. I don't know what this book goes over first, but we'll see. Probably nothing that they used to. I don't know. Let's see the previous page. That's using, okay, that's just multiplying. Y'all can figure that out by reading that. I'm not worried about that. There it is, P times Q times R, just multiplying. I'm not gonna, there's the factorial symbol right here. So we're in the second part of the section. But it's going to give you permutations. There it is. Permutation or combination. So write down a permutation. The only thing you need to worry about with permutation is order. That's all you need to write down, just order. Put permutation equals order. Combination equals order, and put an X through it. Are y'all getting all this down? Because some of y'all aren't writing. Are y'all just telepathic or what? Okay. I'll remember that. I'll remember it. Here is the permutation rule. Write it down. Did I get 3 points on the test? No, get away. Permutation rule is right there. Now the permutation rule is there. I want you to write it down, but it's not essential that you memorize it because your calculator will do it for you, and I'm a big proponent of using your calculator in this section. But write it down. Now the combination is going to be just like the permutation, only combination is no order. So there's that. N factorial over n minus r factorial. Combination should be next. Yep. There we go. There's the combination. All you got to write is order and then put an X through it. And there is your combination formula. There's only one difference. It has an R factorial in the denominator. Now, one of the best examples I can use for this section is the lottery. Let's go. What do you call it? South Carolina Education Lottery. How to play. All right, read that number 1 right there to yourself. I blew it up for everybody on the back row can read it. Select 5 different numbers from 1 to 69 in the upper play. And the red ball is 1 to 26. Now let's talk about the lottery. Why do people play the lottery? They play it because they want to get rich, or they play it for fun? You're supposed to play it for fun, okay? But some people go crazy. That's why South Carolina didn't want the lottery, because we're all ignorant Southerners, and we go out and spend our whole paycheck on lottery. And while the kids are running around in diapers, yeah, that's what everybody thought. That's why we didn't get the lottery. But I mean, that's why we had a hard time getting it. But the whole point is, what does this give us? This gives us our odds. In order to play the lottery, you have to what? Say again? All I heard was, you have to buy a ticket. All right? Now, with all the lottery questions, all 15 or 16 of them that you're going to get on the test, which probably exaggeration, but probably 3 or 4, you have to assume that you're buying a ticket. So you better write this down. It's assumed that you're buying a ticket, so you have to put 1 in the numerator. Okay, for the 2 or 3 people not taking notes today, if you miss that, you miss the whole question. You got that, Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir.
Okay, y'all heard him. You're going to be one of them. All right, so you got to buy a ticket. Now, what if the question says you buy 10 tickets? Then 10 goes in the numerator. But if it does not say that you bought a ticket, it's assumed that you bought how many tickets? 1. Because you can't win the lottery. You don't participate in the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. And they don't tell you that in the question. Now, this new book may tell you that. I don't know. But on the test that I give, they usually don't say if you buy a ticket. It usually just says you are playing the lottery. What is your chances of winning? Okay? Now, it says 5 different numbers from 1 to 69. You need to write that down. 5 numbers, 1 to 69. And then 1 number from what? 1 to 26. So, let's take out our handy dandy virtual whiteboard. And
Can be all the same number?
yes. I mean, from 1 to, it can be, yeah, you can have 2 numbers, yes. Well, no. You don't have to worry about replacement with counting. You don't have to worry about that. So 1 over, and then we're going to take 5, let's see, 69 is in. Was it 69? The first one, 69. Combination, 5. Remember, n is always going to be your biggest number. N is always your biggest number. And if you figure out what n is, then r is going to be the smaller number. Multiplied by, sorry, multiplied by, what's the second ball? I mean, the power ball. It's got to be, it's 26, 1 to 26. Was that the numbers? 26 combination of 1. Now, you can use your formulas for combination with these two, or you can use your calculator. And I would suggest you use your calculator. So pull up your handy dandy calculator. See if I can do this. And if you look in your calculator, I think it's stats. Nope. The second bars. Nope. I thought it was math. Maybe it's math. Probability. Yeah, math. Hit the math button whenever you need it. So you would type in 69, math, probability, NCR, 5. Enter. And that's that number. Oops. One, 1, 2, 38, 5, 13. And then second function, entry, and then go back and change this to 26 and 1. Y'all know how to do that, right? That'd be 26. Now take your 26 and multiply by that BA number. So that's going to be second answer times 112, 38, 513. And that gives you 1. Move that over. One over, what was that, 292 million? $201,338. You got more of a chance to get hit by a bus today than you got to win in the lottery. Somebody, well, I'll do it. That's going to give us 1 divided by inverse answer. Gives us 3.422 times 10 to the negative 9th. So that'd be 3, 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Means 8 should be 8. Yep. So let's take a minute and talk about this because some people just don't register until we think about it. That's six. What is that? 8 zeros, 3, 4, 2. So why did South Carolina have such a hard time getting the lottery? Like I said, because we're all dumb Southerners, and everybody thought down in Columbia that all of us and your parents, as soon as the lottery came, that we would all go into poverty because we would spend all of our paycheck because we don't have any cents. I'm serious. They really thought that. And so let's say that Bubba, he goes out and buys one ticket. And he's got 0.000000000, means that 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 2. And he loses. And then Bubba says, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy 10 tickets. 0.0000000. Let's see, how many is that? 6, 7, 3, 4, 2. And he loses. He goes out and he buys what? 100 tickets. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 3, 4, 2. Y'all see a pattern yet? 1,000 tickets. 0.000000342. 10,000 tickets. In other words, he spends $20,000 because they're $2 a ticket. So he spends $20,000. 0, 0, 0, 0, 3, 4, 2. Bubba says, I'm going to win this daggum thing. So he buys 100,000 tickets. 0.0000342. And then he says, I'm going to win it this time because I'm going to buy 1,000,000 tickets, which is $2 million. 0.00342. Now, I want to ask you a question. In the United States, we're bound by the tenths. In stores, retail, whatever, everything's to the tenths because that's cents. This is cents. So 99 cents, you add 1 penny, you get $1. So that bumps it up to $1. So everything is what? To the hundredths in the United States, pretty much. So whether you buy one ticket or whether you buy 1,000,000 tickets, what's the probability of you winning if you buy 1,000,000 or 1? That's not rhetorical. I'm asking y'all to answer the question. Say again. I heard 0. 0. Thank you. So who's smarter? Bubba buying 1 ticket or Bubba buying 1,000,000 tickets? Buying 1 ticket. So that way you won't run around with your kids and, run around in diapers and you spend all your paycheck on the, because you're from South Carolina and you're stupid. I guarantee you somebody in here has bought more than 1 ticket before, or somebody that's bought more than 1 ticket. Does it make sense to buy more than 1 ticket? No. Unless you got different numbers, if you want to buy different numbers, that's okay. But there's no sense in you buying 1,000,000. That's just something that you want to do. If you want to buy 5 tickets because you want to use your kids' birthdays or something like that, that's okay. But don't buy 5 tickets thinking that you're going to win. That ups your chances because it doesn't. Question. When do you use permutations? Whenever you have order. And we will do that when y'all come back. Whenever that is. Thursday or whatever. take the roll and shut off everything. I said I'm gonna take the roll, y'all sit down. Hey, y'all are getting a little bit rude on me. I don't know why y'all are getting rude on me. I think I do everything to try to be nice to y'all, and y'all are trying to be rude. Why y'all doing that? I said I was gonna call the roll. If I can find it. Let me shut this thing off before it. Oh man, oh my. I think I need 3, 4 more things up here to do. There's that. I didn't even start it. I started one of them. If I can find it.